thanks goes to you, Professor Gunene, particularly in your capacity as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research and Innovation, as the conference of this nature is ultimately centered on research. Our Dean, Professor Shokani, we are grateful to you as the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences at the University of Zululand. Also as members of the UniZulu community, as well as members of societies where we live. Thank you for leading this critical project of problematizing Ubuntu for all of our well-beings, including students and staff. The leadership that you have demonstrated in the accomplishment of this important event has been one that fosters the growth of our students and our fellow colleagues. It has been a leadership of trust, and we thank you. On day one of the conference, we were graced with the presence of Professor Mokgobe Ramose as our keynote speaker. One student I spoke to earlier was elated after the keynote address by Professor Ramose, particularly when he succinctly described the philosophy of Ubuntu as an African law. For the young students, and I am sure is the case with us all, this wisdom will sustain us long after this conference. Thank you, Professor Ramose, for leaving this mark and for having such a profound impact on us and our understanding of the philosophy of Ubuntu. We thank the contribution of our international keynote speaker today, Professor James Matthew Thomas from the California State University in Los Angeles. Professor Thomas shared his reflection on Ubuntu with us, describing it as the act of laying down one's own life for another, interpreted literally and figuratively. He maintained that Ubuntu is only possible if people are willing to put in the work. Speak the truth and act righteously. This is a mere snippet from the wealth of knowledge inferred. Thank you so much, Professor Thomas. We received this knowledge for our betterment. Our students should not be passive observers of the chaos of humanities. These are the words of Professor Mokgobe Masoga, our second keynote speaker today. Professor Masoga asserted we should not have an excuse to ignore humanity. He described Ubuntu as our academic armor. Siyabonga solwazi, sikuzwile impela. We are most grateful for your teachings. I wish to thank the UniZulu Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences leadership, our Deputy Dean, Research, Innovation, and Internationalization, Prof. Naidu. He has not left any stone unturned to ensure that this conference is true to its international status. I have had the honor of witnessing you at work, and I just wish everyone else could too witness your diligence, Prof. We have also been supported by our Deputy Dean Teaching and Learning, Professor Buthelezi, and we are truly grateful for this. Thank you, Prof. Our faculty manager, Ms. Otongo, whose operations have been impacted by the planning of this conference, and she never complained. Thank you, Ms. Otongo. To our HODs, you have responded to our various requests and did so positively during the planning of this conference. A lot of it was not convenient, but you gave us the needed support. You are simply the best. Our committees. What some of the colleagues may not know is that with conferences of this nature, there are various committees that ensue to meet the demands of the responsibilities pertaining to the planning of the conference. For this conference, we had the HASSIC Executive Committee, the HASSIC Scientific Committee, as well as the HASSIC Organizing Committee. What you see here today is a result of the many joint hands in support of the success of this conference. I give special mention to Professor Naidu, Professor Figele Pitwani, Professor Diniso, Dr. Cele, and the Dean. Our great thanks goes to our conference program directors, Professor Naidu and Dr. Mafu, for a seamless running of the conference program. Our session chairs also did a sterling job in their roles. Thank you, colleagues, for your facilitation in this regard. As you all know, no conference can be realized without the funding. We therefore express our deepest appreciation to all of our sponsors, among whom I count our most trusted research office and our departments. Our presenting academics and students. I wish to resound my gratitude to all our presenters that through our unwavering support of this two-day gathering here, you have affirmed the critical nature of our focus with the hosting of this conference at an international platform. Throughout the conference, we have enjoyed fellowship with our international colleagues from the various countries who joined us online and in person. I count India, I count Zimbabwe, and I also count Los Angeles, as well as our collegial neighboring universities, who also join hands with us in interrogating the implications of Ubuntu for community development, engagement, social justice, and healing. Collaborations of this nature are encouraging as they allude to the potential that our messages through our publications have a far-reaching impact than whole. The University of Zululand is a vibrant university, always involved in various teaching and learning activities with which a lot of our colleagues are actively involved. I therefore take cognizance of what your consistent presence in the past 2 days means, amid everything else that is going on that is equally important. Thank you for taking this time to be present and engaged throughout the duration of the conference. I further acknowledge that our students received the opportunity to be mentored on intellectual discourse and debates throughout your guidance in the conference experience. Some of you further held your students' hands and presented with them in some sessions. This is truly commendable. Well done to you. In conclusion, I give special thanks to CMD, led by Ms. Desi and Mtambo. Can we give them a hand? Our most trusted ICT team, thank you, Yvette, Mr. Fada, and the rest of the team. We thank Umfolozi Casino for accommodating our event. And my biggest bias thanks goes to the admin support team, Shine Miss Ruti, shine Miss Guninda, shine Miss Fagazi, shine Mrs. Kanyile. And there I rest. By the powers vested in me, I now declare the 15th Humanities and Social Sciences Conference officially closed.